Hello, I'm Julia from Julia K Art Studio, and today I thought I was going to share my latest finished watercolor sketchbook with you. This is a sketchbook I've made all by myself, with some chipboard for the cover, and have used the bind it all to bind it. The paper is Sea White of Brighton, and it's 350 GSM. Let's get started, I suppose. Now, I really love working in the landscape A4 journals, and I I usually have a piece of A4 with the holes cut into it, and it's laminated, and that way I can put that in and protect the different sides I'm working on, but I can't find it, so let's just get started. We have a little bit of an intro page. We have a whole truck fleet here coming with some art supplies. I started this the very late, almost the last day of 2023, and I finished it in the beginning of August the year after. So a little bit more, so around like 8 months. Yeah. A little self-portrait in gouache and color pencils, and then some watercolor studies um, from my window. Gosh. And I just used my watercolors, and then I had to add in Elsa because I wanted that frosty effect, and I just love it. Does look like frost, like on the branches and the fence, and so pretty. We took a little trip to another city where we did some shopping, and I tried to do like a portrait of me and my mom. I don't know what happened to me. It looks so weird, but you know what? We're leaving it. It's a reference point, and we can only grow from it. And I just saved the little hotel key stuff. I thought that was cute. And I made another here of like from the vantage point of being out walking with Albert and heading back home. Is very much back and forth doing this format, but here I have I saw a video by Sarah Burns Studio, and she had used watercolor pencils doing these little landscape, and I wanted to try it, and I was really frustrated with this. So I did some journaling just to sort of like think about what had happened, and I think what I sort of concluded is because I did this very last with just normal watercolor, because I was like, have I forgotten how to paint? But the watercolor pencils I used was very non-pigmented, and they look really chalky. So in this case, I do believe it was the combination of this paper with the watercolor pencils. I started adding in a bit of the Inktense, and I did notice a difference. So yeah, but it was kind of nice to do this and then sort of write a little bit about it, because I was so frustrated. And going back to it now, I can still feel the frustration, but I can also I also feel like what had happened, and I don't think it will happen again because I learned something, hopefully. Next is a very abstract. We played a little bit with alcohol inks, me and my friend, so I just put that in. And that's the splotches you can see here. It's that, it's sort of rubbing off. So, and just, yeah, did some stuff with watercolor. I was sitting down to reorganize my paint palettes. So did this. I was going to say, so I have a much easier time finding the colors I want, but that's not true. So yeah. Here I had a little. I found this photo of me and my first pony, and I just wanted to draw it. Now looking at it, like my torso and head is just like way too big, but it was really fun, and I think I would like to come back to this, or maybe not like this specific photo, but the sort of redrawing my childhood. I think that could be really fun. Swatching some orange materials and a page of Albert. And here I used the my colors that I make in Albert, Hilda, and Violet, and I just mixed those to get different effects. And yeah, and here is just an outline of him sitting like a perfectly normal dog, you know? Yeah. Some toys I found on an auction website. I think it's so fun going to auction websites and look at the different like old stuff, like toys, um, because they were made in a completely different ways and also really, really scary. I think it's fascinating. Here I followed Emma Block Illustration, I think, and I think she had posted this on the 31st of January. And I took that as inspiration, a sort of jumping off point, and then used some Neocolor 2 and also some Derwent color pencils and made this, and I really like it. And that's one of my favorite things to do, uh, is saving images on Instagram, and then when I feel like I need something to get myself going, is going to my saved folder and pick something, and it does get me going, and I just love studying other people's work and how they use color. Here is actually another page where I dug up some old photos. I had taken some photos of these flamingos in our in the zoo we have in our city, and painted that. Obviously, I added in some shimmer. The green is Spira, and the other here is Rosalie, and the rest of the colors are. Oh yeah, I bought these new colors. They are Neocolor 2. So I wanted to test them out. Another warm-up sketch or page to draw some horses. So I started with this one, and then I made this one, and then yeah, just continue and try to find some interesting poses. Now, obviously, I didn't make this one look realistic, but I just find it really funny to look at these and see how it changes. And I think this one I used some Neocolor 2, and I think here I used some Derwent, the Graphitint, but in a orangey brown color. I do really like sketching with those. Here I had some green background pages, so I used some white and gray colors to do the different type of bits. And here I started with some color pencils to do some flowers, but obviously didn't finish it. Oh, I think the background here is actually, it's ink. I mixed like a green and black ink for another thing, had some leftover, really liked it, so I put it on these pages. That's what that is. Haha, remembering things. Here I don't know why, but I looked up perfume bottles. Yeah. I did some experiment with colors, and I love experimenting with colors. Obviously, I make handmade watercolors. And here what I have done is papers that I have my colors on, and I cut them into strips, and then sort of did this weaving together, and seeing how colors look different depending on how they are what kind of relationship they have with each other or how close they are. And I think that's really, really fun to see that like some parts of it looks really good and some part doesn't look very good. But together, like, yeah, I think that's really fun because often when we see a color scheme, it looks really nice when it's just like 5 colors next to each other. But when they are all interacting, it might look completely different. So this was really fun. Starting off doing something. Starting off doing something else. A lot of quilting stuff. Again, trying, I think these quilting blocks are really perfect to try out a different color scheme because seeing how they react together and how much it changes depending on the amount of different colors you have. Here we have some thumbnails, some color swatches, a rough sketch, and then the finished sketch. I'm going to call it a sketch because it's not like a proper painting or anything, but I just find it really cute. I mean, looking at it now, I would do some things differently, but I do really like it. I love that it's a little bit pink, so you can see the nose underneath the water. And I think I would position my little farmer in a different way because he does look really stiff. On the other hand, emptying water, it's usually pretty heavy, so you have to be kind of stiff. So, yeah, I really like it to be able to see like the idea and how I work it all out. And this is made with gouache, and I just use a little bit of color pencils here to add some final touches. Again, looking at Pinterest, trying to get together, trying to get started. And I think I wanted a little bit of a redemption here, so I used some watercolor pencils. I think I needed something after the winter landscape fiasco. This one is not technically watercolor, but I had this idea for a banner for the Etsy shop. So when I had done it, I wanted to save the original. So I just punched holes so I could put it in here so I could save it. The original idea started out in this sketchbook. You might have already seen me flipping through it, but it started out with just some doodles, and later this scanned in, did a little bit tweaking with contrast and values and such. Some experimenting, just putting down, I wet the page, put down blue, yellow, and red, and then just let it be, adding in a little bit of pencil texture. When I just don't know what to draw or where to get started, it's horses. I think it will always be horses. Here, I wanted to make a video for our national day, which is 6th of June, and I wanted to do like the most Swedish thing ever. So if you want to see and watch me paint and explain all the Swedish references that is here, there's quite a lot. I will link, the video will be in the card, but there is a lot of Swedish references here, actually. Here I used one of my favorite color, which is Fira, which is a beige base color with a lot of like all my different colors confetti sprinkled in. So here you can see we have a lot of green, and then some red shimmer, some blue coming through. And again, I just watched Pinterest for different cats, trying to capture just the silhouette. And some of them I think were really good. I think this one I think this one captured the pose quite well, and also the shape, the turn here. Whereas others, mm, so. A little horse with some shiny stuff. But I love the contrast of this sort of really, really matte, contrasting with these shiny metallic watercolors. I think that's really pretty. And the glitter here is not like meant to be, but it's spread from the other page. Here is some Viking dragon heads from the longboats. And I think I just used, again, the graphite tint. I don't know what color it is. Can we figure that out? Maybe it could be this, cocoa. And then used my own Stig. And then the dark brown is a dark brown color pencils. But I do like starting off with the graphite tint. Here I wanted to make like a loose, fun, cute page of Albert, and I really dislike it. So I think it's something to do with the colors. It's all like the same in a way, and then the face, it doesn't look like him. It's not cute. The body is not. Yeah, so a lot of things is wrong, but I can't take it out because I really like the other side. Again, graphite tint, I think I've used aubergine. No, it is blackberry? Color soft blackberry, I think. It's inspired by Jamie Bloomfield, anyway. And yeah, I think it was, she had posted something to do, like where she had drawn a statue, like hidden away in a lot of greenery, and I just really like that. And I really like the way of trying to make them sort of like they're statues, but in somehow interacting with us now. I try to make like a fun page that looks effortless and spontaneous, but I can't really do it. So I had a lot of fun doing it, and I think some of the people look nice, but on the whole, I don't like it. I think it just feels unfinished, and yeah, I think I might be able to save it, but at the same time, I sort of feel like it's better to leave it and use it as a reference to do something else. Let's see, we have some. Oh, yeah, okay, yes. I know what I did here. I love doing portraits of these older time folk. And here I was watching the new Lady Jane. That is very historically accurate. But what I did was I just wanted to have something to draw. So I started with Elizabeth of York, who then got, I guess, Mary, you would say, and then Frances and Jane Grey, just to like how the relationship, like how she had how she had like the right to the throne sort of thing. And I think, yeah, I just really like doing that. And it also helps me to understand like these things. I think I had started here something, or we can just call it an abstract landscape. Yes. Speaking of abstract, yeah, we have sort of the same idea, but done in gouache and then in watercolor. And I think I wanted to get a loose, like not very detailed. I just like the feeling of it. But yeah, I mean, if I'm squinting, I think it reads what I wanted to read. I think I went too far because here I believe I used some form of water-based marker, like these really thick lines. And oh, you know what? I speak untruth. This is not, I've put it as watercolor. I think it's actually just made with watercolor markers. I think that's what it is. Anyway, I think these dark ones are too, they're too dark and too heavy. Whereas if I sort of squint, I feel like this has more of, I can read that better than this. But I am trying to get more loose and more more suggestive with what I'm painting. I say, and we have a very illustrated piece here. A sitting down little unicorn, and out comes all the colors and inspiration. But I have to say, I love it. I think it is so cute. Yeah, I do really like this one, and I really love how the colors look, the different shapes I've gotten here. And then the shimmer I've used is Tindra, because it is like a clear with just a lot of different colors of shimmer. And I just feel like it's so cute. Here I had filled the whole page with water-based markers and then just sprayed it with water, and decided I didn't like it, so I took a black acrylic marker and sort of carved out the shapes. We're coming into August, so we're getting closer. So I wanted quite a lot of stuff for the new Fire collection. Sort of like a visual cohesive, like this is what I have been thinking. So we have the different colors, and I've written the different pigments, a traditional color swatch chart with the true colors in the middle here, and then of course mixed together, and then some images that I thought represented the concept. And of course, I decided to do two. This one obviously is not as finished as this one, but yeah, I really like the feeling, especially in this one. I think I would have liked this to get this area with a little bit more like this yellow, but yeah, I think they really represent what I wanted to feel with this collection. And the last one, cows. Yep, just some cows. I used a brown fine liner to do some outlining, tried to find some funny looking cows. I think I succeeded. And then just use my watercolors, and yeah, that is the last page of this sketchbook that I had for about 8 months. And it's not my favorite sketchbook. Like some of the sketchbooks that I have, I keep going back to for references, and I'm like, oh yeah, I want to keep working on that idea, or something like that, or just looking at the pages. And I don't think this is one that I'm like overly impressed with my skills, but I had a really tough art year this year, and and I still managed to fill, like, I think this is like 20 pages, so 40 sides. And I still managed to do that, and a lot of it is good memories. Some of it is a little bit like, but I still have a few pages that I'm like, yeah, I like it, and I would like to keep working on it, and I think that's a win in my book. So yeah, that is that. And I feel really good to be able to say that I have finished the book and I can put it aside and start a new one. I mean, I've already started a new one, but you know, mentally I can put it aside. So anyway, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed looking through my latest completed watercolor sketchbook. I hope it got you some inspiration or some insight into my creative thinking. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great day. Take care, and I hope to see you soon.